Why aren't they selling railroad casters so people can make their own railroad dollies? There is stuff that looks like train wheels being sold out there, but it's too heavy and expensive. I was thinking of smaller, cheaper stuff. My idea is to build a dolly like this, but with train wheels. Then you sneak up to a train with a tanker car, because tankers look like they have the most clearance under them. You place the dolly on the rails under the tanker car, and then you tie it up with ropes to the tanker car from the front and from the rear, so that way if the train goes backward, it will pull the dolly backward too. This would be good for doing freight hopping, and the dolly will be light enough to haul along on your person. Just imagine if the dolly was longer, you could just lie down on it. You obviously wouldn't be able to stand, and then you ride underneath the train, and the train will pull you along. There are two things that might go wrong with this, though. The material the dolly casters are made out of might be cheaper than the metals that train wheels are made out of. And these materials might not be able to hold out going 50 or 70 miles per hour for a few hundred miles. The aluminum or whatever these casters would be made out of would just start rubbing through from such a tremendously fast spin, because dolly casters are not made for speeds higher than a person can walk. Now, if you go cheaper and have polymer train wheels, again, at such a speeds and for such a sustained length of time, it is possible the plastic will wear through and the flanges will wear away from rubbing into the rail. Another possibility is your ropes will come untied or snap. At that point, a funny thing will happen. If the ropes come undone, you'll be stuck on a dolly that's rolling underneath this railroad car on momentum alone, because the train won't be pulling it anymore. But this momentum will be slowing while the train is still going full speed. Therefore, slowly, you'll see the rear wheels of the train car catching up to your cart. And once they do, your cart will be turned into splinters, and I don't know what will happen to you if you stay on that cart. A better alternative might be to tie the cart to the rear of the train and let it pull it. It's advisable that you get some sort of a braking system, and hopefully the train doesn't stop too fast so you roll into the back of it. I think what might happen is when the train slows, because there are no brakes on your dolly, it might want to run into the back of the train because the ropes are soft. You could also go to Cajon Pass and ride one of these dollies down the tracks just by itself without tying it to a train. I think it's the steepest railroad grade in the United States, so just go there at night and ride the dolly down the tracks. Gravity should pull you down, and hope you don't run head-on into an oncoming train that's climbing the grade. It will be fun, like a roller coaster ride. You can also have a whole train of these dollies underneath the railroad car. You could make 3 dollies and tie them together underneath the railroad car, or maybe even more than 3, however many you can fit under there between the bogies, and then ride like that. It will be like a smaller train underneath a big train. Kind of surreal. So how am I going to build a plastic railroad casters so people can screw them to a piece of board, and you would have to space them precisely so they fit on the railroad track. And then I want to sell them so kids can go around messing on railroads with them.